Hello everyone, this is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I hope you're having a lovely day. Well, yesterday I harvested quite a bit. Now it's time for me to show you what I did with it. So let's get to the kitchen. I've gathered a whole bunch of things and it's time for us to make some callaloo. Callaloo is made with okra, shrimp, and taro leaves. Now there's something special with them taro leaves, so let's go ahead and get to it. Welcome everybody. It's time to make callaloo, Trinidadian style. Okay, it's time to clean the taro leaf. Some islands call it callaloo, okay? So what we're gonna do is, I cleaned this black basket out, by the way. You take this and you wanna remove all of the main stem. So you take the stem off, we're not gonna eat that. It has an agent in it that causes your throat to get really itchy and even close your throat. So do not cook that part, take it out. Take the main stem out. All you want is the leaf. We have to cook this leaf. See, I took it out. All of it is gone. All of the main stem is gone. Took it out. So, show it again. You see that? The stem doesn't attach exactly on the bottom, but I'm trying to take all of the main veins out, including the stem. The stem goes in the trash or in the compost. Do not eat the stem. I'm gonna repeat that several times. Do not eat the stems. These go in the trash. All right, let's do it. This is not Jamaican callaloo. Jamaican callaloo is made, they call it dashni bush, but Jamaican callaloo is made with, they call the plant callaloo, but other islands call taro leaves. They use taro leaves for callaloo. Polynesian islands also uses this leaf for palusami and a couple of other things. They use the taro leaf. So you can eat it, you just have to know how to cook it. 30 minutes minimum cook time. So we're gonna cook this bad boy for a while. It's worth it. This is a good green. A good green. And you can eat the taro root. I eat the leaves more than I eat the root. As usual. Yep. Just taking those main veins out, as well as the stem. And easing on down until the vein gets, until the stem gets really thin. And then I'm gonna wash these off. I'm gonna soak it in some salt water because they're gonna start to turn white. Brown. You'll see they get a bruise on them. That's fine with me. I don't mind that at all. What I do mind is getting this stem out. That's what I care about, getting this thing out. Then we'll just soak it in some salt water. Make sure we don't get any extra protein. Not being really particular with these because I'm gonna cut them up. Some people do when they're making the Polynesian dishes. They wrap stuff in there. They like put coconut milk and what was the other thing they use? Corned beef, and they wrap it up and make a kind of like a taro burrito out of it, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I just want this leaf. The thing is, the name of the game is the more you go around different cultures, the more you learn about what you can do with particular plants. Always make sure that you follow their guidelines, and they'll tell you. This joker, this stem, don't eat it, and the main vein, don't eat it. Some people aren't as particular as me, but I've already had the experience when my throat started itching. That's a scary feeling, I'll tell you that. The girl who sold it to me, because I didn't grow it the first time I was in Hawaii, she didn't know I didn't know how to cook it. And I just assumed that it was similar to Jamaican callaloo. Boy, was I wrong. That was a bad experience. Then I saw her again. I was like, you stole it to me and it closed my throat. She just looked at me like, what? Dummy, you're supposed to take the stem off. She didn't say that, but that was the look she gave me, like, you don't know how to cook it? All right. We're going to get this off. Pull all this stuff off. I think Trinidadians use the taro leaf. Excuse me. I'm not sure, but I think that's what I saw them doing. Using the taro leaf rather than the amaranth. Amaranth, callaloo is what Jamaicans call it. This, on other islands, is what they use for callaloo, because this is what they had. You know, people use what is available to them and learn how to cook it, if it's edible. Imagine how many people had to experience the throat issues that I did before somebody realized, don't eat the stems, don't eat the main veins. Take them out. Yes, yes, yes. I've been looking at this callaloo for a long time. Taro bush for a long time. I'm like, yeah, I gotta harvest it. Last year, I didn't harvest in time, and the sun came and kissed the poor taro, and they never came back the same way. They all came back really small and frail looking, not big like these are. So harvest your things when they're ready. See that? All I have is a leaf. All I have is the leaf. The main stem is gone, completely gone. Anything that resembles the main stem is coming off this bad boy. I don't want none of the veins. None. None of the main veins, I should say. Can't get them all off, but you get a lot of it off. That main one in the middle, yeah, that's the one you want to take off. See that? I'm taking that main vein off. There it is. See that? Off. I feel like I got a powdery, look at my hands. It's bleeding on me. Taro is fighting back. That's not dirt. That is from the plant bleeding. I know what it looks like because I've cooked this before and I've dealt with this plant before. So don't be afraid when your fingers turn brown. You'll be all right. I'm pulling all of this stuff off. I'm almost done. Make sure I got it all off. Okay, that's good. If your hands are really sensitive, go ahead and wear gloves. Might make your hands itch a little bit. Take that off. Make sure I got it all off. One more. This one's ate up too. It's not that bad. Okay, I have it all in here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in the sink with some salt water and let it soak so I get some of the extra soil off of it. So I've stained my hands, and see how that turns color? Taro just turns brown. It oxidizes. We're gonna put this outside, toss it outside so it can mulch out there. All right, so let's go over the things that we're going to use. For our aromatics, I had to go in the refrigerator and get some garlic and an onion. These are the things I didn't buy. And of course, some green onion. So the things we got from the garden is the taro, tomatoes, bell pepper, okra, habanero pepper, okay, salt and pepper, coconut milk. Let's get to it. Yay! All right, so the first things first, I'm gonna get some coconut oil. Heat it up. Y'all hear that pop, pop, fizz, fizz? Oh, what a relief it is. So let me move this to the side and get to these. I'm gonna use about 3 cloves of garlic. Oh, I forgot something. I gotta go outside and get some thyme. We need that too. So I'm gonna get 3 cloves of garlic and some onion. What kind of knife do I want? Chef's knife. So make sure you can see. I take my knife, take the handle, smash it. All right, I'm gonna do it to all 3 of them. I only do this because I don't feel like fooling with these shells. They come off real easy when you smash it. See how quickly I get it off? I don't have time to be picking. No. Smash it and get it done. So we've got that. I don't have a trash bowl, but I'll get one later on. Some of this garlic doesn't look right, so I'm gonna cut that off. Okay. Anything that doesn't look good is coming off. I don't want that. Yeah. This garlic has seen better days, but I'm gonna use it anyway. All right. Put these over here. I don't like being cluttered. I don't need this anymore. All right. Just gonna rough chop this. We don't want to burn our garlic, so garlic is going to go in after our onions, but I'm just chopping it up first because I don't feel like crying right now. I don't want to cry. Now with this is similar to the Trinidadian callaloo with the exception I'm putting tomatoes in it and I'm putting okra in it. I'm not sure if they put that in theirs, but I'm going to do it. Let me turn this distiller off so y'all can hear me clearer. I can hear clearly now, the sound is gone. So here we go. You don't have to have a lot. Your garden is going to produce at different rates at different times. Sometimes you get a whole bunch of stuff. I've gotten wheelbarrows full of stuff. And sometimes you're just going to get, well, this is a lot too. But sometimes you're just going to get a bowl or 2. And that's fine. Use it. Don't let it go to waste. There are people out there who don't have food right now. Truthfully. There are people who are waiting in food lines just to feed their families. And some people are too proud to do that. Or, you know, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. There are people who make a lot of money, 6-figure salaries, and they're still struggling to pay their bills. So be thankful. Grow your food and do the best you can, and be thankful for what you get and use what you get. Don't just let it sit there because the bugs and the animals will eat it. I proved that today, and it happens to me all the time. Although I go out there every day, they still get me. It's okay though. It's okay. I got enough for me. So I'm gonna cut up my bell pepper. See how crisp that joker is? It just cuts different when you grow it yourself. Where's the other one? It just cuts different. It's crisp. And I'm gonna try to save my seeds so I could use them again. So I'm just turning it upside down. There's a little bit of seed in here. Knock that off. Try to get those off. I'm just gonna, these are little bell peppers, but they're still bell peppers. They're still bell peppers. Everything counts. I'm so thankful that my family, my grandmother mainly, because my mom doesn't really cook. My grandmother taught me how to cook. She seemed surprised that I was interested, though. I was like, why wouldn't I be interested? I watched her like a hawk when I was a little girl. And then she started letting me do little things like washing stuff off, cleaning it, you know, and showing me how to process or how to break down a chicken. Oh, was it my grandmother? I don't remember. I think it was my grandmother who taught me to break down a chicken. You know, a whole chicken, because years ago, whole chickens were less expensive. Nowadays, they're charging more. But back then, if you bought a whole chicken, it would be way cheaper than a chicken that had been broken down. I don't know why it changed, but it did. I would think that breaking down a chicken is more work. But, however, back then, chicken wings were for poor people. Chicken wings and chicken necks is what we ate because we were poor. All that rest of that stuff cost more. And then all of a sudden, football people, I'm blaming the football people, they started liking wings and talk about hot wings and all this stuff. Chicken wings used to be cheap. They were the cheapest thing you could buy at the store. Cheapest part. Nobody wanted it because they had that little tip thing on it and didn't have much meat. And they're like, oh, what do I eat that for? There's no meat on that. People, it's strange how people change. Because the wing it still doesn't have a lot of meat on it. People are just in love with it. I don't know. I like the thigh better myself. If I can't get the thigh, I'll go to the leg. Wings are they're not my thing. I mean, I'll eat them, but they're not my first choice. Yeah, and breasts. Breasts, people always, breasts have always been expensive. White meat, always been expensive. Because it's leaner and it's better for you. Strange thing though, if you grow chickens and you harvest your own chickens, you know there's hardly any fat on it and the meat looks different. What we're paying for is inferior. You can buy fresh, home-grown chickens. They don't look the same. When I went to Jamaica, I noticed that. When we were processing the chicken and we bought a whole chicken from Miss Ann, I didn't cook it that time. This is Miss Olive cooked it. But there was no fat on the chicken. That don't happen when you buy it from the grocery store. So if you eat meat, you might want to, you know, find somebody who produces meat birds. I don't own any meat birds though. I saw some at Callahan's. We have a store, a feed store in Austin, South Austin, called Callahan's, and they sell meat birds in there. They were like $1 a piece, but I didn't like the way they look. They're kind of bald. They look terrible. They look terrible. They weren't pretty at all. I don't know, maybe they should start selling leghorns, but the meat birds, and that's what they were called, meat birds, were $1 a piece, $1 a chick. And I looked in there, I was like, ooh, those things look terrible. Sparse hair, they just look bad. But they were meat birds, so. I was like, shoot, if I get a meat bird, you know what I'm gonna do? I ain't gonna never buy a meat bird again because I'm gonna start hatching my own meat birds. I guess people buy chicks because they don't want to go through the chick process, but hatching chicks is not hard. At least it's not for me. And I have the cheapest machine out there. How did I get on chickens when we cooking fish? I'm putting shrimp in this, by the way. When we cooking fish and vegetables. How did I get on chicken? Okay, so we have our onions cut up. I'm gonna get my habanero in a minute. So let's go over to here and we're gonna put this, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and cut up the habanero. Why not, right? I'm trying to separate my stuff. Why not? So onions in this pile. Bell pepper is over here, right here. Now, if you cannot take heat, just drop the whole Scotch bonnet in there. I mean, habanero in there. I'm so used to saying Scotch bonnet. Just drop the whole thing in it. But me, I like hot food. So, I chop it up. Make sure if you chopping it up, right? Move this out the way. Make sure if you're chopping up a habanero or a Scotch bonnet, if you have sensitive hands, put your gloves on. Always make sure your hands are clean. Some people will say, hey, why don't you have the gloves on? Well, guess what? I'm cooking at home. I'm not in a restaurant. And if I was, I probably wouldn't be wearing gloves. I don't know where people get that from. I guess caterers make their people wear gloves. Regular restaurants, they ain't wearing no gloves. Nope, not doing it. I went to school for culinary arts. We did not wear gloves. I say that on every video. So I am a home cook. Remember that. I'm cooking at home. I'm not cooking I'm not catering for anybody. And if I was catering, I wouldn't talk at all. I don't like talking over people's food, and I don't like them talking over my food. That's what you should be worried about. Saliva. Yeah. In New York, when before I could work at the fast food restaurant, I had to take a TB test. That was a requirement. I don't know if they do that in Texas. I don't know. Tuberculosis is still alive and well. And it gets transferred through saliva. So hopefully they're doing that in all the states. So there we are. Got to make sure the people who are cooking your food are healthy. That's why, when you go to cookouts and when you go to barbecues and all this stuff, nobody got tested for nothing. Hopefully they cook their food properly. I did have an aunt who ended up with colitis. Now, I'm not saying it was from somebody's food, but it did happen after she ate a hamburger at a barbecue. Her stomach started giving her trouble, and it never went away. It just got worse and worse. So be careful who you eat around or who you eat after, and cook for yourself. Then that way you can make sure that it's done correctly or done to your standards. So let's go over here to the oven. Excuse me. To the stovetop. Turn this back on. And get these things done. Get these things sauteed. Come with me. All right. So here we are. Got my onions right here. I'm going to take my hand because I didn't bring my knife. Oh, it's not hot enough. It is hot. And I'll put these onions in first. Onions are always first in the aromatics game. Garlic, make sure your garlic is almost last. Garlic tastes horrible if it burns. Horrible. And all we're trying to do is get this stuff soft and sauteed and let it release its juices. Where's my thing? I should have got a spoon. Let me get this one. That one, I'm gonna use that. So while this is sauteing, I'm gonna clean up my mess because I don't like to have a bunch of garbage around. I'm gonna put these little pieces in. Shake it up. Let them do their thing. Let's go back over here. All right, I got you straight now, right? So I got my knife over here. Next thing I am going to chop up is gonna be my okra and my tomatoes. You get these little things in little piles out of my way. On to the next. Now I'm gonna use all of my okra because I ain't letting it go to waste. I've already washed it off, so that part is done. Let me put these over here. I can only work with so much, right? And I got a fly in here. That is annoying. Them jokers carry disease. All right, so we're gonna chop up our okra. Put it over here. Two. It's a quiet day here. I've been up, you know, you were out there with me gathering. I'm a hunter-gatherer. I'm not a hunter. I don't hunt. I haven't done that yet. But I am a gatherer. So one day I'll go out there and hunt something. I don't know how I'm react to, you know, getting something. But I have processed meat before. I just didn't go out there and get it. It was already pent up when we got to it. I have processed. I was on a sheep farm. And the butcher came in, and I was in there watching them, asking them how to do it. They didn't let me do it, though, because I was a little kid. So, I told you I went to school for agriculture, right? Well, I was a teenager. So, went to a sheep farm. Waiting for those onions to be translucent. That's what they call it. They change color from white to kind of opaque. You can kind of see through them. Put them on a low heat so you don't burn them. Do 2 at a time. It's a lot of okra. Maybe I won't eat. Man, I could do some fried okra though. I could do some fried okra now. That's the thing. That's my jam right there. Fried okra is, woo, baby. One of my loves. I used to drive. I was stationed at Fort Riley. And in the middle of the night, before churches would close down, I'd drive my little happy butt up there because at nighttime, well, it used to be. I don't know if they still do it. At nighttime, if churches don't sell something, they'll give you whatever they got. If you order okra and you're the last one in line just before they close up, they give you all the okra they have. They used to give me a bag of okra. And back then, I think it was in the barracks. I take back to my barracks. Oh, Lord. And I'd have okra for at least 2 days. Reheated okra is not that good, but shoot, it was basically free, so who am I? Who am I to complain? Yeah. And I didn't know they did that initially until one day one of them was like, you want all of it? Because we getting ready to close. We're going to throw it out. That's what the restaurants do. They don't keep that stuff overnight. Fast food, unless they change. The ones that I worked at and the ones that I've been to when I was, younger, at nighttime they throw that food away. They don't reheat it unless it's some mom and pop shop that I didn't work at no mom and pop. I worked at the regular ones. They do not reheat their food. They throw it out at nighttime. That's why some people go through the dumpsters at grocery stores and at restaurants, because at nighttime they put that stuff in the trash. They don't want to be sued for somebody getting sick. That's why. Because if like when I worked at McDonald's, I forget how long it could stay in that bin, because it used to be that we cook it and they put a time on it. And after about a couple of hours, they throw that stuff in the trash. They would not give it to anybody. Now, I tell y'all where I work, Mickey D's. That was my first job. Yeah, that was my first job. Yeah, Mickey D's. They throw that stuff in the trash. Not at the end of the night, at the certain specific time, trash time. I don't think they do that anymore. I think everything is pre-made right now, because I don't see any grills back there anymore. All I see is microwaves. Yeah, back in the day when things were real food, we got real food. So, we'll put these up in there. This is my habanero, my garlic, and my bell pepper. I'm being careful with this plastic. I don't want to shave off a piece of plastic in my food. All right, we're gonna mix that up. And let it keep on going. Where's my knife? Let me see. I think that's enough okra right there. That's about a half pound maybe. Put that in there. You notice that I don't measure anything. When you're doing, when you're cooking regular food, You don't really have to measure. You do it all in accordance to what you want and what you like. There's, you know, very few chefs have specifics with the exception of pastry chefs. Pastry chefs, they weigh their stuff. Because if they mess up, I remember I was in school with a pastry chef. She was like, "This is very technical." And I said, "Well, I'm not going to do good in this job, in this area, because I'll do it because I have to, because I'm in class. But normally I don't really measure. Not even when I'm making dumplings and stuff like that. I don't measure it. So I'm gonna take my green onion, take these bad ends off. I never use the whole green onion. I always replant it. I got these from the grocery store because growing green onion to me is not worth it, especially when I get these for 50 cents. That's how much they are in Texas. They don't cost very much. So I cut it down and I get what I can. I get down to about there. I put them back in the jar. Go ahead and grab a new set because I don't think that's enough green onion. Take off the top. I think I've harvested from this one before. Make sure you take off the dead ends. Yeah, I have harvested from these before. You don't want it to look like this. Take that off. And I keep on taking what I want. Dead end right there. And these green onions will live and grow some more for me. I'm gonna put it in the soil after a while. And if you want to know where I keep it in a little cup until I put it in the soil. My Havana slippers have just finally given out on me after 10 years. I was just thinking about buying some more. These are some good flip-flops. These are good, some good chunklers. Here's my green onion. Grab it by my hand, throw it in there. This is a one-pot meal. Well, not necessarily, because you have to do your dumpling and or your macaroni and cheese. I think I'm gonna do macaroni and cheese. I threw my green onion everywhere except in the pot. Mix this stuff up. Onto the tomatoes. Tomatoes help to reduce the excuse me. Reduce the amount of slime that habanero is putting off some stuff. So the tomatoes help to reduce the amount of slime on the okra. Wash it off. Okay, we're gonna get this, take this out. And I grew these. That's my dog yawning. He must be real comfortable. Oh, these tomatoes. Look at these. Look at that. I grew that. I think these were Dollar Tree seeds too. I know they were Dollar Tree seeds. I bought these seeds because I was like, oh, these are determinate tomatoes. I better hurry up and do it. I started these seeds in January. That's what I did. In the pot you go. Lottie-dottie, everybody. Okay, what else I have another tomato here. Throw that in. All right, so we are gonna get the slime off of this stuff. So I'm gonna let it cook for a little while on 4. I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna get some thyme and I'll be right back in just a second. Okay, I went outside and I got some thyme. Fresh thyme is not as strong as regular thyme or dry time. So you have to use more of it. So I'm gonna take this, just pulling it off its stem. I don't want the stem. The stem is woody. All I want is the leaves. You can use the stem if you grind it up, but when you just don't use the stem. It's just a standard practice. You don't want anybody to get this stuck in their throat. So take it off. Oh, it smells so good. I love the way fresh thyme, I love the way fresh herbs smell in general. This is also an aromatic. If you don't know, aromatics are just herbs. All right. Callaloo next. Excuse me, taro next. So I'm gonna grab it one by one. We'll roll it up. I'm gonna cut it into strips. Some people say you have to do it uniform. Me, I do not care. Thin strips. That's all I care about. Make sure you don't cut your hand while you're doing this. This one set done. Put it in the pot. Made a mess, Jamaica, trying to be Miss Fancy Pantsy. Grab another bunch. Roll it up. Thin strips. We've already taken all of the stems out of this thing. Do not skip that step. You won't be able to eat it. It'll close up your throat. It'll make you itch. I felt like I was dying. I said, that girl sold me a poisonous plant. Oh, Lord. You've been warned. They don't sell that. I guess they don't sell this in normal supermarkets because of that. I don't know. You have to either grow it or you have to be in the Caribbean. That's when you'll see it. And they they probably think to yourself, they know how to cook it. Kind of like Aki. Aki can kill you if you don't know how to cook it. Or if you don't know how to harvest it. Aki can send you to an early grave. They force that flower open on that Aki. You are not going to live to see another day. That's poison right there. You got to wait for the flower to open on Aki. The Aki tree. All right. There is our taro leaves. I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to mix it up. If you don't have this, you can use callaloo, amaranth callaloo. I have another leaf here. Or you can use spinach. Some people use spinach and okra. Spinach doesn't really have a taste. This doesn't really have a taste either though. So we have done everything fresh. Now we got to move on to coconut. Coconut milk. I do not do fresh coconut milk. My grandma used to. And I remember her sweating and heaving and hoving. And I promised myself that would never be me. Never. It tastes better though. I guarantee you it tastes better, but no. So we're going to open our coconut milk and we'll put some salt and pepper on there. Oh, got to shake it up. Always shake your can up. And let me wash the top of this can off also and wipe it off. Go and wash it up and be right back. This is nice fancy can opener. It don't want to work right. See? Here I go with the rigmarole. Okay, I got it open. Let's pour this in. And then we're gonna put some salt and pepper. Let me move you over here. So this is what our pot looks like now. All right. The last thing I'm gonna put in here is going to flavor the dish, and that's gonna be shrimp. Because I only wanna use 1 can of coconut milk, I'm gonna put a little bit of water in here after I put the salt and pepper. Do not taste this either. This, do not taste it for at least, there's some black pepper, at least 30 minutes. So I'm gonna put some water in here. That's enough. I'm gonna put some water in here and I'm gonna boil this thing down. Callaloo needs to cook for a minimum of 30 minutes before you taste it or do anything. I put salt and pepper in here, right? I know it's not enough, but I'm gonna let this joker boil down. I put about a cup of water in here. I'm gonna have to put a little bit more because that didn't cover it. See this? I need it covered with water. There we go. Make sure there's no suspects hanging out on the side. Okay, I'm gonna turn it up on about 6. The only thing I'm gonna check for is to make sure that the water ain't running out. Because I'm gonna boil this for 30 minutes. I forgot one thing. Make sure you stir it occasionally to make sure everything is getting a bath. Everything is getting cooked. That is all. While this is cooking, go ahead and pull your shrimp out. If you have to clean it, devein it, and get it ready. If you're using codfish, you either have to boil the codfish 2 or 3 times to get all that salt off of it, or you have to soak it overnight. It's up to you. Some people use codfish with this. Other people will use shrimp. I'm just going to use shrimp because I did not soak my codfish. So shrimp it is. So our 30 minutes has been over 30 minutes. It's been about 40 minutes. I took my shrimp. This shrimp is already deveined and cleaned, but I'm going to check anyway, you know. I'm just going to check. You never know. I have my blender out. Just get a blender out. I'm going to take some of this mixture out of the pot. We're going to blend it up and make it creamy and put it back in. Do not do all of it. Do about 1/3. 1/3 would be good. So here we are. Do it before you put the shrimp in. Move that out of the way. I'm going to put this on the blender. We're going to blend it up. That's good. Got to cook it again. Put it back in the pot. Mix it up. Continue to cook it. All right. I'm going to check our shrimp. So I'm going to spot check these, right? We're looking for them to have cut the line and clean this thing out. I'm just going to spot check a few of them to make sure they did what they said they was going to do. You never know. Usually they do a good job. So we're going to put the shrimp in. These shrimp are cold. It's going to bring down the temperature of this pot, but that's okay. Right? Shrimp does not take long to cook. Just try to get as much water off as you can. You don't want to put a lot of icy water in this thing. If you cook your shrimp too long, they become rubbery. So be careful. Go ahead and mix that up. We're going to turn this up. Turn it up, turn it up. We got water going because I'm going to make some macaroni and cheese. Now it's okay to taste test. For salt perfection, get a spoon. Glaze your spoon. Need salt. Mix it up again. New spoon. Glaze it. That's better. Put these in the sink. Still feel like it's missing something. I don't know what it is. Let me think. Let me get another taste and then I'll know. This time get a piece of callaloo with it. With the real deal. Okay, let's see. No, that's good. It needs to cook a little bit more. I might have to pull my shrimp out. The vegetables are still crisp, and I don't want them that way. I want them to be like cooked collard greens. That's what I wanted it. I'm gonna get this bowl that the shrimp came out of, washed out, and I'm gonna pull my shrimp back out. Because they are cooked. They cook quick. They cook quick. Nobody wants to rub a shrimp. Nobody wants to rub a shrimp. Not me, not anybody. So I'm pulling them out. And this was 12 ounces of shrimp. You could do more or less. I like the taste of shrimp and I like the flavor of shrimp. That's why I put it in there. Either this or codfish, them two. And it's not just regular codfish. I use salted codfish. Come on now. This thing giving me a hard time. All right. Grow your own food. Eat it yourself. Healthier, wealthier, and wiser. Well, all of that falls under wise, right? Can't buy this at the supermarket. You can buy the taro root, but you got to grow it yourself. As soon as they discover people are doing it, they'll probably come out with some way to stop us from growing it. I don't know why they gotta be like that. The reason why you cook with the shell on is because the shell provides extra flavor. Extra, extra. And Wait for that to cool off. We're gonna keep cooking this. I pulled it down to 4, and I'll bring you back in about 10 minutes when this thing cool off, and then we'll add the shrimp back in there, minus the shells, okay? All that is going to make a blonde roux. I put some butter in here, unsalted butter. That's just what I buy. I melt this butter down. I got my milk, my cheese. This is just what I had. Got my salt, need some white pepper. I don't have any white pepper, do I? I don't know. I don't know. Is that white pepper? Nope. Nah, I use the black pepper. It's cool. So I got some cheese, some butter that I melted. I'm gonna take a little bit of flour. Flour is just so that it sticks. You don't have to do it this way. Everybody do their macaroni and cheese different, right? Some people do it in the oven. I don't want to do it in the oven. I'm doing it on the stovetop. Blonde roux it is. So just like any other roux, you do not want to burn it. You just want to get that floury taste off of it. That is your goal. I got this large burner on. I wonder why I'm hot. Ooh, it's turning a yellow color. Just gonna let it do its thing for a little bit more. It's a blonde roux. We're not trying to turn it brown. Okay, I'm gonna take this and put it to the side. Once I get it to the color or the consistency that I want, without it burning, I'm gonna go ahead and put some milk in here. Just a little bit. Take some salt, pinch, put it in there. I recommend white pepper. I don't know where my white pepper is and I don't feel like looking for it, so I'm gonna use black. Put that in there. I'm gonna take my cheddar cheese. Now, I'm not really a cheese person, right? Y'all do it the way y'all want. I'm doing it the way I do. I'm just making it up as I go. First time I ever had stovetop macaroni and cheese, a chef cooked it for us. And I think he used Haverty cheese, or was it started with the G? Gruyere. I think he used Gruyere. Gruyere. Ooh, that was the best macaroni and cheese I've ever had. So it's very expensive though. That was the best macaroni and cheese I've ever had. I can't say that enough. I'm only gonna make enough, a little bit. So we're gonna let that melt. I think I put enough cheese in there. Let me see. Yeah, I think I put enough in there. A little bit more. If I had cream, I would have used it, but I don't. That's why I used butter. I might put some more butter in here too. That's why I use butter. Butter is basically cream that's been churned, heavy cream that's been churned. People look at me crazy when if they don't have heavy cream, I ask them for butter. Basically the same thing unless it's salted, then it's not. And you'd be surprised how many places do not have butter nowadays. They don't have butter, they have margarine. It's not the same thing. Not the same. I'm gonna put this back in here. We got our flame up. I'm gonna let our cheese melt and then I'll bring the macaroni back over here. It's that twisted macaroni, but it's what I had, all right? Let me put this up and I'll be right back with you. I've tasted the callaloo and it doesn't seem like there's enough seasoning in it for me. So, guess what Jamera gonna do? We're gonna add some stuff. Here's some garlic. Put a shake of that. Some onion powder. Do a shake of that. Here's some thyme. A few shakes of that. Some people would put allspice in here. You know what? I think I will. This is a Jamaican dish. Did he put... I'm going to put some soy sauce in here. Why not? It's my thing. Do what I want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. It's your thing, it's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. We do another taste test, even though it's not cooked in yet. Did she ruin the dish? Did she? I don't think so. That is way better. That's good. That's good. That is good. Man, that soy sauce, put it over the top. Put everything back where it belongs. I was going to put some allspice in it, but I don't need it. Our mixture has started to come to a boil. The reason why I put the flour in there, you don't want to burn this either, is because it makes, it makes it a paste. While it's still cooking, turn it down. We got it melted up, right? We want to get this macaroni in there. I'm not a cheese person, but I'll do cheese with this. See that? Stovetop macaroni and cheese. That quick. And I burnt something. I must have dropped some of it on the eye. It's smoking. Don't do as I do as I say. Don't do that, children. Do not put a sponge on an open flame. That's basically what I did. This stuff comes together quick. Look at that. It's the flour, the roux that broke it, that allowed it to stick like this. This is macaroni and cheese, not cheese and macaroni. Remember that, all right? All right. Time to get this shrimp unscathed. I'm going to take this and put it to the side. I'll put it on low. Turn this back up. Move it back over to the side. Turn this one off. Turn it down. I need another spoon. I don't want plastic. I'm going to use this. Make sure this thing ain't sticking to the bottom. All right, let's get this shrimp unshrimped. Nobody wants to eat a shell, right? I know I don't. When I'm eating, I don't want to deal with these shells. Let me get another. Let's take these off. Take the shells off. You don't need those anymore. If you're not comfortable with your hands, go ahead and put gloves on. No one wants to eat a shell, right? Unless you are doing shrimp bisque. Then you grind the shells up and use it. I could have did that with this one, but I don't want it. I don't want the shell. The shell does, however, give you extra flavor. I remember I went to a Thanksgiving and two sisters made shrimp fried rice or shrimp rice. One sister used the one that was pre-cooked shrimp. You couldn't taste any shrimp in the dish. The other sister used fresh shrimp, shrimp that was uncooked. And hers was way better. We were like, this the same dish? Why? Why does yours taste like this and hers taste like that? She said, because I did fresh shrimp, uncooked shrimp. She used the pre-boiled stuff. It made a drastic difference in the taste, like night and day. We all went to one sister's dish. I felt bad for a sister who used the pre-made stuff because nobody was eating her rice. We all went to the other ladies. We didn't say nothing. After we asked her what she did, we didn't say anyone to the one that, that bought the pre-cooked shrimp. We didn't say anything to her, but we definitely did not eat it. We ate the other sisters. And you could tell when somebody tastes something that tastes really good because normally they get really quiet. They don't say nothing. Everybody noticed. Actually, they knew, the family knew that the one sister cooked better than the other. So they knew who to eat from. It was funny. Oh, Lord. And you could tell the other sister was bewildered. Because she was like, nobody's eating my rice, my shrimp rice. Why? I was like, they need to tell her. They need to tell her to use fresh shrimp. That's the trick. My aunt used to make shrimp rice for Thanksgiving. Oh, my God. It was Puerto Rican rice. Puerto Rican shrimp rice. Woo! I used to beg her to cook it. She couldn't eat it, though. She could not eat it, but we ate it for her. All she could do was taste it. She had stomach problems where she couldn't eat. She couldn't eat anything. Basically, she could eat rice, baked chicken, and baked steaks. And it wasn't even fatty steaks. They were like just meat and rice and potatoes. Bland. But she could cook her butt off. She cooked. Yeah, my mama's sister. She ain't here with us no more, but man, that lady could cook. She could cook. Grandma was better than them all, though. Grandma outdid them all. Well, maybe Auntie's food was better. They were neck and neck. How about that? Fly. They were neck and neck. You know you can cook when your grandchildren all run to the house when she say time to eat. Everybody run. We could be around the corner. Notice that everybody disappeared around dinner time. We run our butt back home as quickly as possible. It was not because you know she was going to beat us or do anything. It's because she could throw down. We knew whatever she cooked, it was going to be good. Her and my grandma and her sister, they both could cook. Aunt Mavis. They both could cook. Make anything. Just come out, make it up in their mind. I guess I'm like that, huh? They make stuff up. They be like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I guess that's how they had to cook because they had to make do with what they had, which is what I'm doing. I'm going out there in the yard and I'm making do with what is in the yard. Instead of running to the supermarket every 5 minutes. I don't like going in there anyway because every time I go in there, I spend over $100. And it's almost nothing. Especially if you get meat. All right, let's see. I don't want to spend that money. It's not whether I can or not. I don't want to spend that much money when I could save the drive, because I live in Texas. We got to drive everywhere. Save the drive and go in my backyard and get what I need. I ain't bothering nobody. I don't have to deal with no lines, no people coughing. You know, they say there's a stomach virus going around. Man, I got it in my backyard. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I went to the Dollar Tree. I was out yesterday. And I started to feel so sick, nauseous. And then I talked to this other lady. I was holding my stomach a little bit. And I was like, oh, is it something? Because I keep food in my car, just in case, because I don't like eating out. So I ate something in my car, and I was like, I wonder if that stuff was any good, because I felt so nauseous. And then I was touching my stomach, right? And it was in the Dollar Tree, and I was like, you touch your stomach, like, oh my God, my stomach is not acting right? Then I saw this other lady doing it. I said, wait a minute. She said, there's a stomach bug going around. She said, I work at the hospital and there's a stomach bug going around. Do you know, Miss Jamaica was like, oh no. Because initially I thought it was food poison. I thought that maybe I had eaten something that was bad. No. I still feel a little nauseous right now. I went and got some emergency. It was airborne. Emergency and airborne are the same. Anytime you feel like something's coming, now I'm not affiliated with these people. Anytime I feel like, or vitamin C, anytime I feel like something, I'm exposed to something, man, I double down on that vitamin C. Not just oranges. I go and get the, I don't know, the pre-made stuff, because I ain't gonna be laid up in here. I got too many animals to take care of. The chickens can't wait. Because I got the stomach bug. Anyway, here we go. That on. Let me make sure my stuff ain't burning. Mixy, 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 mixy. Make sure it's not scorching. Now I'm gonna turn this back one off. That don't need to be done no more. I know my hands were dirty when I did it, but I ain't gonna let my food burn because I gotta go wash my hand. I smelled a little, I could smell a little scorch. You feel around. Nope, there's a shrimp in here. Make sure I get all of my money's worth. Every shrimp that there's another shrimp right there. Every shrimp that I paid for is gonna come out of this bowl. No shrimp left behind. Feel it. Can you feel it? Doom, 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 doom. Okay, now I'll wash my hands. Come with me. Woo! Wee! Sorry, guys. Here we are. We have our pot here. We have our macaroni and cheese that looks delicious. There we go. Not break it up too much. That might have been what's burning. So let me check this, make sure this is not sticking to the bottom. Perfect. Put our shrimp back in. And mix it back up. Let's do one last taste test and then I'll plate. Moment of truth, right? That's good. Plate time. All right, y'all. Moment of truth. Let's see. Get your elbows off the table, girl. That is freaking good. I don't know why I don't make this more often. I missed the shell. That is so good. My God. My God, my God. Grow your own stuff. Grow your own, cook your own. I could taste the greens in here, but man, this is good. I don't taste the okra, but man, This is Jamaica with Jamaica Life. Thank you guys for being with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.